Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we got the Bitcoin trend up here. Bitcoin right now trading, as of the time of this recording, 26,300 per BTC. Over the weekend, we didn't really see too much movement, just pretty much trading sideways. Nothing really exciting coming out over the weekend. At least nothing to spur on, some exciting price activity. We've got the market cap here still hovering just above $1 trillion. And Bitcoin dominance higher than it has been over the last few months here. Right now sitting at about 48.1%. We've got Bitcoin, as I said, 26.3. We've got Ethereum trading at about 1,700. BNB coin still maintaining a price of roughly $242 per coin. We've got XRP trading at about 48.7. BNB coin, I gotta say, another one of those interesting cryptocurrencies, considering it did get attacked by the SEC. The price has remained relatively stable. As you guys can see, I talked about this the other day when the SEC news did come down. You can see that spike in volume. Trading activity did rise, but it did not go below this level of support. So just zooming out here, you can see BNB coin is still maintaining. And I mean, I'm surprised. I thought, we may have seen it crater, similar to what we saw happen to the FTX token, FTT, which, was a bit of a different case back in November. However, this is the price chart for the FTT token. Binance, though, the BNB token, is still maintaining support. Even coins like ADA were decimated just by being named in this lawsuit against the SEC. So we can see where the strength is in some of these cryptocurrencies. XRP, of course, right now trading at about 48.7, so almost 49 cents. Again, not too much in terms of weekend activity. We did just see it kind of vacillate over the last week or so. No major highs or lows to really speak about there. This, guys, came out, though. Hinman documents released in the SEC Ripple case is a boost to Ethereum, and this is coming from none other than JP Morgan. They released this report late last week. The documents are likely to intensify and move among major cryptocurrencies to become more decentralized and look more like Ether, the report said. So, the company, the big bank that is embroiled in this ETHgate scandal, at least, in and amongst the XRP community, they are coming out and saying this. Let me read this to you guys. The release of the Hinman papers last week in the SEC case against Ripple is a boost to Ether and is likely to trigger a move to more decentralization in the crypto market, JP Morgan said in a research report on Thursday. Emails tied to the former director of corporate finance, William Hinman's 2018 speech, saying Ether did not look like a security, were published last Tuesday by Ripple in its defense against the SEC. Senior leadership at the SEC did not rank Ether as a security in 2018, the report noted. The SEC officials acknowledged that the fact that tokens on a sufficiently decentralized network are no longer securities creates a regulatory gap. The speech acknowledges that there is another category. This coming from their analyst here. He wrote that it is not a security because there is no controlling group, at least in the Howey sense, yet there may be need for regulation to protect purchasers. Down here, check this out. JP Morgan says these revelations could explain why the regulator has not taken action against Ether while targeting other cryptos this year. Well, I think we may have another opinion on that. Here's a quote. The Hinman documents are likely to influence the direction of the current U.S. congressional effort to regulate the crypto industry in a way that Ether would avoid being designated as a security. So these guys are still maintaining their thesis here. Ethereum, not a security, even though there is so much evidence to suggest that it is. But they're not going to stop. They have a lot invested in this. Again, this is from a JP Morgan specific report that just came out last week after the Hinman documents were revealed. So are you guys surprised? I mean, they are trying tooth and nail still to defend their position. They've got a lot of skin in the game now. Connections to the Ethereum network, Consensus, Joe Lubin, Vitalik Buterin, some of the major players involved. Anyway, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Michael Branch here posting this. So you guys have been noticing that the SEC, and I think they even came out and admitted that their strategy has changed now. Well, now they're attacking, or now they're at least focusing on exchanges, crypto exchanges. And this is what we're finding, okay? Poloniex is on an account deletion rampage, targeting XRP wallets specifically with over 85,000 accounts deleted so far as community members raise concerns. So if you guys are using the Poloniex exchange or may have been signed up for a Poloniex account and may not have used it for a while, you might want to check in on it, because this is what's happening, guys. They've embarked on an account deletion, XRP account deletion spree, having deleted over 85,000 XRP ledger addresses in 4 days. The recent exercise has affected several XRP community members and resulted in Poloniex taking up a total of 1.55 million XRP. So, even if they're, pilfering small amounts of XRP, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is, of course, as they're going on this account deletion rampage, that means they're accumulating your XRP and they're throwing it in their coffers. So that is a total burn of 171,000 plus XRP. And Crypto Eddie here also commented on this. I think this is how the Crypto Basic picked this story up. Question: Poloniex, you deposited my XRP from a 2017 wallet reserve into your new wallet on June the 15th, growing your wallet open on June the 14th. And now it has 1.5 million XRP. So this is the beauty of, these detection devices, these websites where you can trace and track where the XRP is going. So it looks as though this was the wallet that Sentosumo Saba was talking about with 99.85 XRP. And Poloniex's account deletion retrieval wallet here, you guys can see the date here, June the 15th, 2023. Now that wallet has 1.553 million in that wallet activated by Poloniex only the day before, June the 14th. So a bit of a scam. I don't know. Can you really do that? I mean, I don't know. Did they send out emails, letting users know this is what we're doing? Did they just do it without telling anybody? Some questions as members of the XRP community should be asking. And so if you guys are using the Poloniex exchange, I urge you to at least take a look, see what's going on for your specific account. And, post it in the comments if you guys are also noticing something unusual. Wanted to thank Michael and Sentosumo Saba for posting that. XRP Crypto Wolf bringing this to our attention as well. So, despite the fact that there are regulatory clarity issues in the US, we're seeing other countries greenlighting the ability to trade cryptocurrencies, including XRP and ADA, to cryptocurrencies that have been under scrutiny by the SEC. So it's not only those two, it's 501 cryptocurrencies in total. So XRP, Cardano, and 499 other crypto assets have been given the go-ahead for trading in Indonesia, according to a release by Bapepti. Wu Blockchain reports that the Indonesian government has released a list of tradable cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Solana, which was another one that had been targeted by the SEC, ADA, XRP, DOT, SAN, and Uni, a total of 501 cryptocurrencies covering almost all tokens recognized as securities by the US SEC. I love how they put it in there just to, draw attention to the fact that in other countries, including Indonesia, these cryptocurrencies are green-lit, good to go. The document contains an exhaustive list of the cryptos. Earlier in June, the SEC roiled the crypto market with its lawsuits against the two biggest crypto exchanges. It was alleged that these lawsuits, the cryptocurrencies such as Cardano, Solana, Matic, and Sand were securities. So it is unfortunate, I got to say, that it's good that, we've got other countries around the world that are saying, okay, these cryptos are good to go. What the unfortunate piece of this is that, if the SEC does crack down and if cryptocurrency exchanges in the US start to delist, like we heard of Robinhood delisting, we heard, what was the other exchange that was delisting some of the coins that the SEC was questioning? It was another exchange in the United States. The thing is, the US market for crypto trading is such a large part of the crypto market. So, I don't know. I don't know. Are US traders going to find other avenues? I mean, maybe using a VPN or something like that. I don't know. There's options. But it is something I've certainly been thinking about. Market cap, are we going to see it go as high as it did in the last run, or are traders going to, decide to purchase other cryptocurrencies, maybe making some of the other coins now move into the top 10 spot? So these are all things that I'm preparing for on my Patreon. My Patreon is going to be dedicated pretty much to trading. I mean, I also post my regular content there, but this is one of those things that I am talking about on my Patreon, right? The diversification, getting into different cryptocurrencies. The market is going to look very different this time around for this exact reason. The SEC going after exchanges now, and it's kind of forcing the hand of some of these exchanges to delist, or at least, delist temporarily some of these coins that are in question. So wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that. Michael Branch with another one here, 3 reasons why Judge Torres will address XRP secondary market trading. An opinion about a portion of the Ripple SEC case coming from John Deaton here. As the SEC Ripple lawsuit nears an end, legal experts focused on crypto have continued to provide an analysis on the possible outcome of the case. And so we've got John Deaton here giving his opinion on XRP secondary market trading. The pro-XRP lawyer made it known yesterday while reacting to a remark by Mark Fagel, former SEC's regional director. The XRP enthusiast named DS claimed Fagel asserted that the judge is unlikely to address XRP secondary market trading. So that is one of the things, one of those key points that the XRP community has been wondering about. According to Mark Fagel, a former SEC San Francisco regional director, Judge Torres' ruling on the SEC versus Ripple case is unlikely to address the issue of secondary market sales. But in response, John Deaton, who represents thousands of XRP investors, had this to say, okay? As a general rule, a judge usually only addresses what he or she needs to address. He added that while Judge Torres does not need to address secondary market sales to determine whether Ripple sold XRP as an investment contract, she could also rule on smaller issues without touching secondary market transactions. Attorney Deaton expressed confidence that Judge Torres will deal with XRP secondary market trading in her upcoming ruling. And so just to touch on this briefly, 3 reasons why. Firstly, he noted that the SEC summary judgment motion requires the judge to address the secondary market trading of XRP, that common enterprise issue down here. Secondly, John Deaton believes the numerous amici briefs filed in the lawsuit by him and on behalf of holders, Coinbase, Spend the Bits, TapJets, Blockchain Association, and Chamber of Digital Commerce will prompt the judge to address the coin's secondary market sales. So because of those amicus briefs, we will see that issue being raised. Lastly, Deaton asserts that the judge is aware that secondary market trading was discussed in the penalty phase of the SEC versus Library lawsuit. So former precedent-setting cases might spur this on. Now, John Deaton also commented on this tweet here. According to Mark Fagel, a former SEC San Francisco regional director, Judge Torres' ruling on the SEC Ripple case is unlikely to address the issue of secondary market trading. And here's a more detailed explanation of that point here. John Deaton just going into it. I disagree. With that said, no one knows until she writes her opinion. And as a general rule, a judge usually only addresses what he or she needs to address. Now, on the one hand, she doesn't need to address secondary market sales to decide whether Ripple offered or sold XRP as an investment contract. She could choose to decide the much narrower issue without touching secondary market transactions. But here are 3 reasons why I believe she will address it as follows. And so I did just outline them, but John Deaton does go on into more detail here in this tweet, guys. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Another point here, though, that I wanted to highlight was Bill Morgan's response to secondary sales. Now, he pointed it out here. I guess I should start by telling you guys what Bill said. The footnote certainly shows that Ripple considers it quite possible it may obtain only a partial summary judgment in its favor for post-mid-2018 sales, and that the earlier sales may be decided at trial along with the fair notice defense. And Kashta down here agreed. He said, is their argument, but based only on the outlier that I was referring to, they would have to lose first on no investment contract, even if those early sales being absent Howey elements. That said, I've seen no evidence that those sales contain them. And Bill said, correct, if they win on the statutory interpretation / no post-sale obligation point, or show that there is no common enterprise, then distinctions between different types of sales or before / after points in time are not as relevant. What Bill was referring to, though, was this, okay? Initially, this tweet thread from yesterday, do you mean Ripple non-ODL sales or all non-ODL sales? I will answer the wider question. Firstly, as I think the notion that the token itself is a security is utter nonsense. I do not regard secondary market sales as sales of security. So that with the question of, do you think the non-ODL sales are sales of securities? If so, why? Bill goes on to say, as I believe XRP sold or transferred to ODL customers are not investment contracts because ODL customers are neither investors nor expect profits from investing in XRP. Very good point. It seems absurd to me that those XRP would be securities, but some other XRP sold on the secondary market is a security because it was originally sold by Ripple as part of an investment contract. I have said the same thing about XRP, which Ripple gave away or gifted, which the SEC does not assert are offers or sales, and therefore are investment contracts. All XRP are fungible, as the SEC pointed out in attempting to show a common enterprise, but not appreciating that. This submission was a double-edged sword, which turns in the SEC's own hands. If all XRP is fungible, how do they get to saying all XRP are securities when some XRP are not sold as investment contracts and others were? So SEC kind of shooting themselves in the foot, and billions now are all commingled in secondary markets. The answer is you don't get there. You certainly don't get there applying the Howey test. The SEC, of course, knows the token itself is not a security. The Hinman emails shows the SEC knows it's not a security, and asserting otherwise now is a special form of dishonesty. So this is my reasoning why XRP is not a security and why I do not consider secondary market sales or sales of securities. As to Ripple's sales of XRP, I covered my view on this issue in a thread on May the 30th. And in this thread, I pointed out an oddity that Ripple did not make an argument in its summary judgment motion, that it made only in a footnote in its summary judgment reply about pre-2018 price rises of XRP not being caused by Ripple's activities. And Ripple said it would prevail before a jury on that issue, guys. And check this out, a footnote from that document. The court should, if it does not dismiss this case for the other reasons cited in defendants' motions, grant partial summary judgment in defendants' favor for that period. So ultimately, Bill thinks there should be a partial summary judgment there. Again, guys, this is not a black and white case. I mean, we all wish that XRP just gets full clarity and, it goes to the moon because there's no questions asked. But it's very, very likely that we are going to get some kind of a resolution, but maybe not. Maybe there will be still questions that need to be addressed further down the road, because let's not forget, the US is still ultimately under a regulatory dark cloud. I guess, there's still no confirmed answer for, much of the crypto industry. So the judge, meaning Judge Torres, is certainly going to play a huge role in, the crypto shaping in the US. But I don't think, rather, there's a lot of pressure on her to be responsible for much of it. So I think she's going to be making very, very careful decisions here. But very good insight from Bill Morgan, from John Deaton, of course. And hey, did anyone find the video of Bill Hinman's speech at DC FinTech Week? This was asked by John Deaton. Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed did. And get this, guys. It was from November 5th, 2018. Hinman explained at the event, "We also will be putting out more guidance. The idea is a plain English instrument that people can look at, that they'll bring together sort of my Howie Meets Gary speech, and that analysis will elaborate on it in very plain English. So I think I have a security offering? Look at the guidance and you should be able to sort things out." Literally the exact opposite of what the SEC ended up doing. And now it's a bit of a lark. It's a bit of a joke, actually a huge joke, considering how this has all played out since then. So, the SEC's got their work cut out for them, and now they look like morons to the entire industry, to Congress, and the damage control now, I think, is getting a bit overwhelming. So wanted to thank John Deaton and Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed for pointing that out. But BitGo CEO Mike Belshi, he also has an opinion on the Ripple SEC case. Just to give you guys some context here, BitGo is a software company. At first, I thought they were an exchange, but they're not. They're a digital asset trust company and security company headquartered in Palo Alto, California, founded in 2013 by Mike Belshi and Ben Davenport. So these guys are big players in the space. And he had an opinion on the Ripple SEC case specifically. Now, he doesn't really have skin in the game, because if you're not an exchange, well, you don't really stand to benefit from a positive verdict from certain cryptocurrencies or whatever, right? BitGo CEO Mike Belshi recently lit a match under the ongoing debate surrounding Ripple versus the SEC. According to Belshi, a victory for Ripple in this legal tug of war could echo across the entire cryptocurrency landscape, creating positive changes in the regulatory environment. So again, another person here suggesting, Judge Torres' verdict is really going to play an important role in this. In his tweet, Belshi drew comparisons between the early days of Bitcoin and Ripple's current situation, claiming that Bitcoin, like XRP, could have been seen as centralized from 2009 to 2012. So that's an interesting point. Although fundamentally Bitcoin is not centralized, one could argue it was from those early days, because it was all the developers who had control over the Bitcoin network. It wasn't really being traded in such large capacities that we could say, it's decentralized fully. If you create something tomorrow and you're the only one working on it, even if fundamentally, technically, it is a decentralized thing, let's call it a crypto, okay, a decentralized crypto. Well, if you're the only one working on it, well, you have full control over it because no one else knows about it. This notion stems from the idea that during its initial days, Bitcoin development and decisions were mostly under the control of its early developers. So, this is a good point too. That speaks towards an early iteration of a crypto versus the current iteration of a crypto, whether it is being implemented for utility or working towards that goal. I think this is a very important distinction that, the SEC is really going to have a hard time fighting against. Critics have often labeled XRP as being centralized due to a variety of factors, including Ripple Labs' significant holdings of the token, their influence over the currency's ledger, and the closed nature of the currency's validator network. And this is in sharp contrast to Bitcoin. But Belshe's views has raised some eyebrows in the crypto community, given the stark contrast between Ripple's perceived centralized control and Bitcoin's prized decentralized ethos. And he had to address his further tweets. He revealed that his cheerleading for Ripple is not rooted in his fondness for XRP. Instead, he is backing the potential for Ripple's victory to pave the way for regulatory reform, a path that could have been walked by innovative technologies like Bitcoin. So he's saying, well, I'm not a pro XRP, insert name here. I'm just saying Ripple's case is really going to prove a lot for crypto clarity in the United States. So guys, we have somebody else here now, a digital asset trust company and security company, stating the same. Ripple's case is going to shape the way we trade crypto in the United States, and it's going to influence the market in this coming bull run. And I mean, it has maintained its spot in the top 10. I gotta say, XRP, despite being under scrutiny by the SEC, has really proved its value. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.